Hi, and welcome to Wake Up Now, February 17, 2022. Been a while since I spoke with everybody. Just wanted to get back in the ring and talk about the extreme right movements in Canada right now and across the world. Basically, my subject today covers a lot of different aspects of um, our history, plus the future of social movements. Now, I won't say that Freedom Convoy is a social movement. It's more uh, a mix of racist and right wing groups who have taken over our nation's capital. And it's been, almost a month now that they've been occupying Ottawa and, closing bridges and so on throughout Windsor and elsewhere. I think, my main proposition here is that there's a big danger in terms of if we continue on this path of letting right wing groups, have the front and center stage of discourse. Things will be going very badly if we don't put a stop to it. So basically, today, I want to talk about the history. So we had, in the history of Canada, we had social movements and we had, unions and so on who took care of social issues like Medicare and so on by, having their protests, which were very left wing. However, left wing has brought us to have a medical system that is universal, as opposed to the United States, where it's not. You have to have a lot of money and pay a lot of insurance to have coverage, and even then, you're not covered with everything. Um, so, if we look at where we're at today, I think that's most concern for everybody. We are in a state of emergency right now with under the Trudeau government. Now, I think it's very interesting that that everything's lasted this long. It begs the question: is there something behind this? We know that there's a lot of big money from oil companies throughout Canada, and the United States, who've funded this protest, if you want to call it that. I don't want to call it that. I want to call it sort of like disorganized confusion. We need to, basically get back to what is a social movement and look at the left wing proposition. On it could be Aboriginal issues, First Nations. It could be environment, which is crucial. So this right wing protest has tarnished the name of, you know, uh, protests. And you can look at also the history of the environmental movement has been, captured as well. Extinction Rebellion was, taking the lead on it, and they were, financed basically by some rich and wealthy patrons from the United States and Canada, and also Europe. So we have a situation where social movements have become, basically the highest bidder will pay for access to um, extreme, extreme right wing movements that will do their bidding at any cost. So we saw that with the GoFundMe and all the different donations, 10,000, 20,000 that came from the United States, probably came from elsewhere as well. But we had in the past movements like the Tea Party that were supported by the Koch brothers. So I'm not trying to sound like a complotist or conspiracy theory nut, I guess you want to call them. I want to be grounded in saying that there is something behind these social movements. It's not just a bunch of people getting together and storming the nation's capital and holding us hostage, and the people of Ottawa and elsewhere. I think there's a bigger picture here, which we need to sort of a macro vision of what's going on right now. Um, so across the world, there's been copycat convoys and so on, and it's reflective of a situation whereby the tolerance of most people, I guess, want to call them the silent majority, have not spoke out about it. They've been quiet as usual, and that's their usually their anti confrontation or apolitical views. So none of it's spoken out because they're not willing to give up their creature comforts. And, that's going to hit us hard in the face one day because the environment and Aboriginal issues, First Nations, are primal or sort of extremely important, and we need to address those issues. I mean, they don't have water on reserves, and, they're living in squalor and poverty. So we need to make moves in that regard. And the environment, well, the environment's coming to a head. There's disasters all over, and large companies keep getting larger and exploiting the land, exploiting the people, minerals, and so on. So we have a dire situation that needs to be addressed socially, and not by right-wing organizations, but more left-leaning opposition. So I'm not, saying that Antifa is the way to go. There needs to be other social movements that come up, by populist movement, I mean, that need to examine these issues and take action. So, that's pretty much what I wanted to say today. It's a small and short capsule, but, basically it's, crucial that we take action in regards to what's going on in terms of social movements, and, wake up the silent majority and say, hey, it's time to get out of your slumber, wake up and, start doing something, because you have the majority that are silent right now. And that's a danger to our democracy. The silent majority needs to, own up and make some sacrifices in terms of creature comforts, as I said. And we need to obviously tax, corporations in response to the terrible situation for people on social aid, or welfare, as we call it in Quebec. So there needs to be, a lot of action taken in regards to changing the way we see people in poverty. They're not victims. They are basically, held at bay in regards to the amount of money they get every month, which is not subsistence. Even, minimum wage is better. People are better off on that. So anyhow, look forward to hearing your comments, and I'll probably do another capsule later on today. Thank you.